I'm not sure how much of my shirt the camera is catching, but if it's not catching much, it's just black and kind of brown. So I'm going to be going for a neutral smoky eye. To do this, I'm going to be going for a brown and smoky eye, and to do this, I am going to be using the Urban Decay limited edition palette, which I happen to have right here. I'm going to be using out of the limited edition palette, Nameless. I am also going to be using Deeper and Last Sin. I am also going to be using their brush. I know some people don't like their brush, and I understand why people don't like the brush. The brush is kind of weird because it's double-ended, and this is a pain to put away. So you have to put it in palette. And it's a pain to clean because you have to clean it and then have it rest like this. I don't know about anybody else, but I actually like to hang my brushes up. There's no really good way to hang this up. So anyway, but before I start with that, I'm going to prime my eyes, and of course, I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Now, if you were not able to get one of these limited edition palettes, I'm very sorry for you because this palette is awesome. Okay, I mean, I absolutely love Hoodoo, which is that one. I really love Road Stripe. I cannot tell you how much I love Road Stripe. And I really like Crystal too, which is this one. So if you can somehow, some way find these, I suggest you do that. One thing you're going to notice is I don't have any foundation on right now, and there's a purpose for this. I don't want foundation right now. I don't want it because I plan on getting my eye makeup everywhere. It's kind of the natural process. It's not that Urban Decay has a lot of fallout. It's just, it's going to happen. So why get annoyed about it because it messed up your foundation? At that point, just put the foundation on after the eyeshadow's on. But that's just me. Some people like doing it the other way around. There's something wrong with that. So I am going to start out with my color on my lid, which would be Deeper. I'm going to load up my brush with Deeper right now. In case you're wondering, as you don't own this or you haven't tried it yet and you do own it, it goes on very nicely. It doesn't feel grainy or anything like that. It's going on quite well. I am packing it on because I am planning on wearing this eyeshadow pretty much all day. There you go. I've been taking Deeper. And notice I've gotten a little bit above where I probably want it. I'm okay with this. It makes it blending a little bit easier later. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm taking this end of the brush, which is for your crease. I am going to be putting that in Nameless. Now again, I may change my mind. I've never used Nameless before, so we're going to see. And last but most certainly not least, I am putting in my highlighter, which would be Last Sin. Again, I'm still using their brush. And if you don't know where your highlighter goes, for some strange reason it goes up here, right underneath your eyebrows. I now want to blend this out a little bit. Generally, when doing my makeup, I follow the Eiffel Tower principle of doing my makeup. And for those of you who've never heard this term or have no idea what I'm talking about, the Eiffel Tower is actually 3 different colors. It is the lightest color, kind of like my highlight, up at the top. And then it is darker all the way at the bottom. And in the middle, there is another color, which would be a little bit lighter than the one at the bottom and obviously a little darker than the one at the top. Now, to kind of blend these colors, because I'm not feeling Nameless, I think it's a little bit darker than I wanted it to be, I just popped Heat over the top. That is what my other eye is going to look like. Sure, I look funny right now, which is my job. Hello again. So this is what both eyes look like. Next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting on my Perversion mascara, which is also by Urban Decay. If you're not noticing a trend here, I really like Urban Decay. You're going to have to give me a little bit because I am going to be using the mirror for this. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I am going to be putting on my foundation now that my eyes are done. I'm not doing anything else in my eyes because they're a little bit dry last couple days, so I don't want to poke them in further. I'm using Naked by Urban Decay in shade 3.5. And I'm going to be putting it on in a stippling motion with my brush. Stippling motion is like this, not like this. So, again. Somebody's saying, isn't that a brush for powder? It is, but I prefer this to a foundation brush. If you don't, that's fine. And again, I am patting it down onto my face. I am not going in circles. It provides better coverage when you pat for areas that you may not want people to be looking at, like a pimple or something like that. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying highlighter, which is by Urban Decay. I know, right? Shocking. This is the Urban Decay Illuminator in the shade Luminous. So I'm using the brush that it came with because I found it to be the best brush. All I'm doing is swiping one side with the brush and then applying the highlight. And then with the side I didn't swipe, I am pulling like this to kind of blend it a little bit. I really suggest strongly that you use their brush. I'm not the only one out there who tells you to use their brush. Their brush just so happens to be the best one for it. So I think it's safe to say I'm not going to get any more stuff in my hair. I'm pulling this down so I probably look nuts anyway. Yeah, I have a couple dark circles under my eyes thanks to my husband yelling out duct tape in his sleep last night. Yes, I'm not kidding. He yelled out duct tape. No, I have no idea why, and neither does he. I'm going to be using a Stila brush. This is Stila brush number 33B. And this is made for doing touch-ups with your concealer. Made for doing touch-ups with your concealer. So I'm just going to go under my eye, and again, in a patting motion, I'm just going to go under my eye and pat the concealer down. This is also something you would do if you had a pimple, except you would pat it so again, it blend in with your foundation. And in case you're wondering what I'm using for a concealer, I hate to break it to you, it's not Urban Decay, it's actually by Tarte. I used to use Tarte's foundation. I even have an old one sitting right here. I stopped because I feel they changed the formula and they made it a little bit more yellow than I would like, and I'm not happy about that. Which is why I switched to Urban Decay's Naked. And quite frankly, I like it better, actually, so I'm very happy about my switch. This is about the time where you're going to put on blush if you're planning on using it. I am not, so I'm not going to. Also, this would be when I normally put on my lipstick, but because I haven't eaten breakfast yet, I'm not going to because I don't want to risk messing up my lipstick. I hope you've enjoyed this makeup tutorial, and Bonnie, sorry I didn't do bright colors. I'm not wearing bright colors today. Anyway, please subscribe if you like this makeup look.